Hello chess fans, in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can play blindfolded chess. Blindfolded chess is just chess where you cannot see the pieces in any way, shape, or form. And there's two ways you can play blindfolded chess. Either on chess where you just can't see any of the pieces but the board is still there, or IRL in which you actually have a literal blindfolded on and you have to have the board in your head as well. So blindfolded chess is good for a few reasons. First of all, it helps improve your calculation. So if you're around 1600, maybe even 1400, blindfolded chess is a really useful thing to see the lines even deeper. On my level, it has helped me a lot and I can really imagine positions much better. So the first thing you need to know to do blindfold chess is the notation. So if you don't know how notation works, basically this is the file, and then this is the rank, and then this is the file or column, And so it would go E, see this is the E file, 4 being this, and when we do it with a pawn, we don't say the piece, but when we do it with a piece such as a knight, we'll say knight, knight, or bishop. So or queen or rook. So the queen and the rook can also do this, and we would see king. The only special notable rule is that we also have castles. So castles is just an O and O, but mostly they'll just say castles. So chess also has more tools to teach you how to play blindfolded chess. The second tool they have is actually here on the practice, or the coordinates section right here. You can actually become quicker with the coordinates. As you can see, there's no coordinates on this board, so how do you know the coordinates? Well, that's up to memorization. If you want to see the board in your head, you actually have to memorize the coordinates. Now, this may seem like a daunting task, but as you play more and more chess games, this will just come natural. For me, I didn't really have to do a lot of training to learn blindfold because I already have played like tons of chess games and I know the chessboard really well. But if you really want to learn blindfold quickly, it's a really cool trick to show your friends. So make sure you grind this coordinates things and really get a score around 20-ish to 15-ish. I'm not so quick with my mouse, so I can't really click it that quickly. But if you could, a score around 20-ish should make you able to do blindfold. So now the final thing I'm going to do is actually play a blindfold game myself using the tools on chess. So I'm going to click here and do this, and I've challenged someone to a game. Hopefully it will accept. So I'm going to tell them to accept right now. And yeah, we're just waiting for them to accept. Okay, they've accepted. And as you can see, I can't see any of the board, and I know I'm the black pieces. So they've said yo in the chat. And so let's see, what will they play for the first move? So as you can remember, the pieces are like this. These are our pawns. This is our pieces on the back. If you want to do it on chess, you can utilize the arrows. I don't know if I'm going to utilize the arrows so much because of this, because it might be seen as cheating. So let's see what our opponent does. Okay, so our opponent is taking his time on the first move, but yeah, we are. So he plays e4. Let's play e5. So the pawn is here. He plays knight f3, attacking our pawn. Let's defend our pawn with knight c6. I know you might not be able to see the board in your head, but I'll just help you out here. The pawns are like this. The bishop's here, and the knight is defending the pawn. He plays bishop c4. I'm going to play knight f6, attacking this pawn right here. Okay, so he goes for knight g5, attacking the pawn on f7. So I'm going to go for d5 to prevent the bishop from attacking here. So he takes here. I'm going to go with knight a5, attacking the bishop. And his knight is here, the pawn's here, the pawn's here, the knight's here, and this knight is over here. So, just in case you couldn't see the board, the bishop is also right here. So my opponent is thinking, okay, he plays bishop b3, which I think is a bad move because I can just take it, and then take on d4. So here I have a pretty raspy throat, unfortunately, but my opponent plays queen f3, which is threatening the mate and also threatening my knight at the same time. What the problem could be for my opponent here is that I think I have knight f4, or I might just have knight f6. Knight f4, the idea was my queen is also attacking the knight here. But that might not be such a good move. So knight f6 might be, keep it simple and good. Might be the best move. I could also take the knight. Problem is he takes with the queen on this square. So that's probably not good. So I'm just going to go back with my knight. I'm going to threaten maybe bishop d6 and bishop c4. Okay, my opponent castles. Let's play bishop d6, which sort of threatens to go here. d3, and let's castle. Yeah, I think castling is okay. Maybe play bishop g4 first. Yeah, actually, let's play bishop g4 first. Oh, well, bishop g4 actually hangs the pawn on b7. Yeah, you can't really see long distance when you're blindfolded. So I'm going to castle. So if you don't know, his knight's here, his queen's here, his bishop's here, his pawn is here. And the position is roughly equal, though I might have h6 here. Okay, I'm going to go for c6. Well, he's actually also attacking this pawn here. So I need to be careful of that. So I'm going to go, because his rook is open. So I'm going to go with a6, I think. Yeah, a6 seems reasonable. He goes knight c3, maybe wanting to go to e4. And now let's go with c6 to basically cover the queen from here, because the queen was attacking that pawn. Now I can develop my bishop to this square. So let's see what my opponent does. If you can't see the board, my pawns are like this. My bishop's here. My queen is here. Knight here. I'm castled with my king. He plays d4, which is a little bit confrontational. Problem is I think I just have bishop g4, which is winning the game on the spot. Attacking his queen here. Queen g3, I have takes here, attacking both his bishop and his queen, because my bishop is here to attack the queen. So this might look like a daunting task at first, but yeah, now I have takes here, attacking the queen and forking the two pieces. This might look pretty daunting, but it's actually a lot easier than it looks. I know this, you can't even see any of the board, and it looks like I'm doing nothing, but don't worry, I'll go over it in analysis if you might not be able to see it. Okay, he goes queen h4, not really threatening anything at all, so I think I might just ignore it. I think I could take here. Yeah, I think I can just ignore that. Whether I take here or here, I don't think it really matters. It might matter. Yeah, if I take the bishop, then he can move his knight here, and if I take, I'm getting mated. So I think I'm going to take the knight. Yeah. And this is covered by my knight. Bishop d4. Okay, attacking my knight. Let's go bishop f5 to defend the pawn on h7. And his bishop's threatening my knight. Oh, I actually also had bishop takes h2 there. Yeah, I actually missed a tactic, didn't I? Bishop takes c3. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's go h3, attacking the knight. Putting the question to the knight. The bishop's here, his king is here. Our king is here. Bishop takes f6. That seems like a bad move, but I don't think it is, so I'm just going to take back. And my opponent is down a full piece. Knight f3. I think the safest thing is to just trade queens like this. And that should be good. He's going to take back with the queen. Now, is there a pawn here? That is what I have to remember. I actually do not remember if there's a pawn here. So I'm contemplating whether I can actually take here or not. Because I know I have a bishop here. But I don't know if there's a pawn there. So yeah, I think there's a pawn there actually. And so I think I'm incentivized to take that. Hopefully that's not a blunder. I think that's a good move because after I have bishop e4. And yeah, my bishop's here. My bishop's here. His knight's here. My pawn's here. My rooks are in the corner. And he's attacking my bishop. I think that's just a free pawn though. Yeah, and now I can go here. So yeah, this might just look like an open board, but I promise you, it is going to be a lot more clear in analysis. So here I'm just up a few pawns. I decided to play a 1400 because I think I should be able to beat a 1400. So he moves his rook here, which makes me think that I might have some back rank ideas. So I'm just going to move my bishop here, which attacks his rook on c3. And we'll see what he does. Okay, he goes rook e3, which I think then I can just take this pawn here. That makes me able to take the pawn. And his knight is on h4. His knight goes to f5, which is kind of scary. Not sure what he's planning there. But I think I can go here. Or I'm going to go back with my bishop to cover this square, because he might have been wanting to give a check there with his knight. And then I'm going to go rook e8, and the game should probably be over soon. His rook is on d1, his rook is on e3, knight on here. Okay, he goes there to threaten the knight takes here. So I'm just going to move my king, because he was threatening this with a check, because this would be pinned. And so, yeah. I'll probably put a timestamp somewhere if you want to skip ahead to the analysis, because, yeah, I know blindfolded, you might not be able to see it. But I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for all you guys. So h3, let's just bring a rook to the open file with rook here. Oh, he might have actually the ability to put his knight here. Okay, he does go for knight d6. And I think rook e7 to defend both Ds is good. He goes knight f5. And so let's go with our rook to e5. Attacking the knight. So here, we're pretty much up a lot of material. f3. I think he forgot I was attacking his knight. Unless maybe he played his knight there. So I'm going to move my rook back. If he trades, well, that's good for me. Okay, I'm going to go f5 to attack the rook. Rook a4. Okay. Our pieces are like this. I'm going to move my bishop back. And our rook is on e8. Bishop's like this. His rook is here. This is pretty simple. I could give a check. I could also go rook e2. I think I'm going to play rook e2 to threaten this. And yeah, that should be pretty easy after this. So I'll go here. Then let's go with bishop c4 to trade rooks. And he goes queen d3. Let's give a check. Push these pawns to victory. Can't really... I'm sort of losing track of the board here, but still think I can see it pretty well. Just got to make sure I don't stalemate. So my bishops are lining like this. His pawn is here and here. So yeah, I can't afford to create a queen now. Now I'll go here. I'll go here. Here. And bishop here should be mate. Yeah, that's mate. So that's GG. So now I'm going to let you guys see the position. So yeah, this might be the first time you've been able to see the position in the game. Yeah, sorry about that. But I'll just analyze this game pretty briefly. So what my opponent went for is the fried liver attack. And this is a pretty dangerous attack at around the 1400 level. But obviously, there's some theory here. And bishop e5 is really the only move to give white any sort of advantage, as I would have to block. And here black is down a pawn, but has some compensation. After something like bishop e2, he gets a lot of tempos on the knight. And this would actually, in fact, be the main line, in which black has a lot more development, but he's down a pawn, so it's worth it. What my opponent did, I'm sure the engine says is terrible. Okay, the engine likes h6. And after he goes here, okay, I guess then I would take with the queen. Or no, I'd play e4, and he'd have to go back. So yeah, that would have been better. But instead he went for this. Yeah, this threatens the mate. Okay, f6 I don't think I would have played in a regular game either. Yeah, I wasn't really considering f6 at all. Here I just wanted to be solid and not risk too much. a6, I thought he might have been threatening to win this pawn. In hindsight, not a great move. Yeah, knight e4 would have been good for him. I went c6 to prevent him from taking here. He went d4, which is a blunder, because after bishop g4, I take here. And yeah, the engine says this is, oh, they're about equal. But yeah, I just had to get his pieces out, trade the pieces, win the pawns. And yeah, this game was pretty easy from there. So yeah, that's the end of today's guys video. Please remember, you practice with this mode. Maybe create an account where you only play blindfolded, or maybe play casual blindfolded games, because obviously you don't want to lose by playing blindfolded. And see if you can do it. And if you can try doing it more, maybe turn on text-to-speech on Lichess and try to actually do it with without actually having a board in front of you. I know that is very largely different from having the Lichess board, because all you have to imagine is the pieces. So that's the end of today's video, guys. If you liked the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.